Let's do it. Let's check out the peak mech design of LEGO Exoforce. And we'll kick off with the best of the best. It's Takeshi and his mech, the Grand Titan. Let's review this bad boy and check out the pieces that come in this set. I'll give you some ideas for how you could use them in your own custom creations. Oh, and if you think this looks good, wait until you see some revamps of this set. Strap yourselves in and get ready. The year is 2006 when this set came out, and it was such a good time. And so much of that is purely because of this theme, Exoforce. I think Grand Titan sums up why I love Exoforce so much. And it's the relationship between the pilot and the mech. Let's take a look at that pilot. This is Takeshi. In the story for Exoforce, we learn that when the robots rose up against the humans, Takeshi was separated from his family during a robot invasion. He didn't know if they were dead or captured or something worse. And this took a toll on Takeshi. It made him extremely driven and reckless in combat. And I mean, you can see that on this minifigure's face. He looks battle-scarred and weighed down by the cost of this war and the stress of trying to find his family. And then the design of this mech. I think this also reflects the character's personality. Yeah, the red color scheme, it evokes the feeling of being hot-headed or having a fiery rage. The overall stocky design and bulkier armor, you get the sense that he could charge head-on into battle and brush off several attacks, all because of that armor. I mean, that's perfect for someone who is impulsive, reckless, and always running into danger. Or even just the weapon. Yeah, it's not any kind of elegant or noble sword. No, it's a vicious, vice grip. This thing is gonna mess up any robot enemy. This weapon, this mech, and Takeshi himself, it all feels so fierce, so strong, so brave, and maybe a little crazy. So I like that. We learn about who this character is because of the way the mech is designed. And the aesthetic of this mech, it's unlike anything we've seen before. And still, modern mech design, it doesn't really pull off this same vibe. Exoforce designs feel so gritty, and there's that awesome hint of anime influence. I mean, just seeing the text all over this design, it's so distinct and so cool. Even the hints of English text, that warn you about sharp edges on the blades, or they bring your attention to various features on the mech suit. This kind of stuff injects a great sense of realism to the design. It gives you the sense of a rich, lived-in world that's so full of life, so full of danger, but also full of adventure. Exoforce was unlike anything else, man. But why don't we take a look at these great play features, because there is a nice little supply of them. The pincer weapon, of course, can open and close. And by the way, it's great to see a red recolor of this Bionicle weapon piece. Ah, the glory days, where Bionicle and system pieces, they lived in harmony. It was always a joy to see them popping up in brick-built system sets like this. Wave 1 Exoforce sets also included some light bricks. All you had to do was pull down on the back like so, and then this trans-clear piece would light up at the end. You could also see the light brick lighting up in the center, like a little power core. I mean, it was a lot of fun. The box art does seem to imply that the entire tube will light up, which it doesn't really do. But if you turn the lights off, you put it in a dark area, it does illuminate a little bit better. So I guess they're not really lying. And yeah, baby, that's the mighty Grand Titan. I love this set. I love Exoforce. It's just amazing. But why don't we take a look at some of the pieces that come in this set? Let's see how you can use them to build your own custom creations. And then we'll take a look at 2 sick revamps of this set. Let's begin with those awesome blade pieces. Check out how Infernomox has used them to form this huge red sword. I mean, look at this. Getting a boat stud and using them to link them side by side like this, it looks sensational. And you gotta love a weapon that's a totally different color to the rest of the mock. This is good to see. The set also comes with a nice array of wedge elements that have these stickers all over them. And hey, check out how Tino Pautanen has used some of these sticker elements to reimagine a Star Wars Vulture droid. Honestly, yeah, the stickers on their head, I think they work really well. You also got one down there on the body. It's a great touch. And the shape and feel of these pieces, they capture the look of a Vulture droid just perfectly. Great work. But let's say you want to remove the stickers or you don't want to put them on at all. Well, then perhaps you could take some notes from a builder called Dickin222. The shaping on this character is exceptional. But when we take a look at the legs, yeah, you'll notice this piece right here. There's no better piece to use for a good leg design. This piece always looks so good. I mentioned that trans-clear tubing piece from before. It's a pretty good part, and it's so good to get it in trans-clear. Now, sadly, a few of mine have started to yellow after all these years, and I think that is a bit of a common problem, but it's not too bad. But I used one of these pieces in an older Marvel mock that I made. I attached it to Captain America's shield so that it kind of showcased the trajectory of the shield as it bounced between Ultron drones. It does give it a little bit more of a sense of movement and action. Perhaps you could use this piece in a similar way. Now let's highlight some of the smaller Technic elements that come in this set. They might be small, but they're very helpful. Starting off, we've got this 1x2 lift arm. Oscar Cedarwell uses a black and a red one on the arm of this character. You can see it tucked away at the very base right here. It works well. And changing up that color, it gives it a nice little pop. Just a pretty little accent color. Always good to see. Also included in this set is a Technic connector piece. And Joxon uses it to great effect. You'll notice them right here on the leg design. On one end, it links up to a ball joint. On the other end, it attaches to these boat studs, which then links it to the rest of the leg. It's nice, the leg design is thin, but very articulated. And actually it's quite simple, doesn't use a lot of pieces. And at last we have this piece, which Bricklink calls a Technic axle and pin connector perpendicular double split. Anderson Builder uses this piece for a thigh design on this character. The natural shape of this piece, it adds in a very aesthetically pleasing texture. If you decorate the rest of the leg with some wires and other pieces like we see here, you'll end up with something very special. Nice thinking. Awesome. All right, let's take a look at those revamps. The first one we have today is by Tar Lego Photography. And yo, I talked about how the original set had a nice amount of realism to it, but I don't know, dude, this feels even more realistic. Obviously, giant battle machines aren't real, but look at all of these dark bluish grey greebles and mechanical details. If mech suits were real, they probably would look something like this. And dude, visually, this is so pretty. The contrast of highly detailed engines and greebles and mechanical stuff, but juxtaposing it with smooth, sturdy red armor. It's sensational. And check it out from behind. There's plenty more mechanical details to feast your eyes on. That's some good stuff. Oh, but one change that I love to see is this updated weapon. Sure, the Bionicle weapons looked great on the original set, but I love how the inside area on this revamp, it's using the top section of these Lego hinge bricks. The appearance of this piece, it gives the weapon an incredible serrated edge. And the colors, the look of it, it fits in with the aesthetic of this mock so well. And hey, we've also got a Bionicle G2 stud shooter piece that's embedded into this blaster arm. It was the right choice to change up this arm, make it dark gray, increase it in size. It just looks good. This is so sturdy, so detailed. What an improvement. And now, Rei Kawai shows us a different take on this great set. And I feel stylistically, it's a little bit closer to the original, leaning a little bit more into that anime vibe, just a little bit. The injection of a little bit of yellow, I think that was a very welcome idea. Or even things like these black wires that link the waist to the torso. Fantastic. Although actually, I really like these spikes on the top of the head, giving the mech little devil horns. It's a small thing, but it injects a lot of personality. It's nice to see the same shoulder design, but it's doubled up and kind of angled down. The way that this covers up part of the arm and neatly wraps around the torso, It feels sturdy and compact. And I always like to see that kind of stuff on a mech. This rocks. I love Grand Titan and I love Exoforce. It's always a joy to talk about these wonderful sets and their fantastic pieces. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more from the builders I spoke about today, check the links below. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, happy building, and bye for now.